their anxiety level goes up. So some people, they laugh about it, or they have to walk away. You know what I'm saying? People deal with it differently, but there's signs to show that people be acting a certain way. You just deal with truth. Truth always triumph. Truth will cut people, man.
That's right.
You know.
Go ahead.
That was it on this
Okay.
one. I'll go back
Yep.
to Wisdom of Solomon. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
Yep, they're gonna see that one, man, that they afflicted, that they were hurting, that they were oppressing. Not realizing that they were babes. They were the fucking scumbags, the lowlifes, the pieces of shit, the evil, the wicked. You know? But the whole time they were thinking that a brother, you know, they don't know that we're brothers like that, but they know that guy, that he was a piece of shit. You know, he just had a fucking attitude. Fuck that dude, right? That's what they be thinking, but not realizing that Yahweh Shemel Shai was dealing with that person outside of his job. He had a greater job, a greater profession.
That's right.
That he rehearsed all throughout his life, every second, every minute, going through, you know, everything. He's having to fight, man.
That's right.
And they're giving him more help when he's just trying to eat, trying to make a paycheck, you know, get his daily bread. You know? Go ahead.
It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
Yeah, they shall be amazed by the strangeness of salvation, man. They can go ahead, keep reading on.
So far beyond all that they look for.
Yeah, keep going.
And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, they shall say within themselves, this was he, whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor.
Yep. So you brothers, you know, you have a great reward, and they're gonna be in a pitiful case because of how they treated us brothers, man.
That's right.
You know, whether it was on the highways and the byways, or YouTube, or at your job, or at school, your home, it don't matter. You know, they're still gonna be held accountable for how their behavior, their conduct was. Yahweh Shai is not worrying about no goddamn business. He ain't worrying about no fucking oil field business. He's worrying about how you are in general with everybody. How you dealing with your neighbor? Are you following the law, statutes, and commandments? Are you doing what I said for you to do? That's why Peter said we rather obey God than men.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
And that's why Yahweh Shai told them when they came sneaky, give Caesar what is his, but you better give me what is mine.
That's right.
Because at the end, who's going to trump? Who's going to triumph? Yahweh Shai is going to triumph.
That's right.
Caesar's only going to come for a short period of time. That motherfucker came and gone. I mean, now they're back in the reincarnation as all these other different presidents that sat in the White House. You know? But, you know, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, man. The joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. This has been a saying of old, man. So it still applies to this very day. The ones that they afflicted are the ones that are going to be set up on high by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and their name is going to be known throughout all the earth, the universe, man, for what they did. Standing so stiffly for the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. Truth. Yahweh Shai is the epitome of truth. The scriptures say, sanctify them through thy word is truth. Yahweh Shai means he delivers, you know, but he's also wisdom. He is truth, man. Go ahead, keep reading.
It says, we fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of Yahweh, and his lot is among the saints?
Yeah.
Therefore we have heard from the way of truth.
But you see, their judgment was off. All they had to do was just be humble. All they had to do is be simple. Don't make things difficult. You know?
That's right.
Don't make things difficult. Go ahead.
And the light of righteousness hath not shined unto us.
That's right. That's why they're lost. They're lost in the sauce, man. They're gone
Con.
because their mind is in the world. They're not in this book, in the spirit of the spirit, man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
It says, and the Son of Righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts, where they lay no way.
Yeah, they're walking in the valley of dry bones, man. They weren't coming to their full potential. They were still dead men walking, man. They had no understanding. They were all dying of thirst, not realizing it. Go ahead.
It says, but as for the way of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, we have not known it.
Yeah, they don't know. But that's on you, because Paul said, I speak this to your shame, man. For you had not the knowledge of the Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
That's a shameful thing. But then they'll look at you and then be like, oh man, you don't got a job, or you ain't got a high paying job, or you don't got this kind of car. You see, you got that ugly ass car? They think that's a shame.
Con.
That's not a shame, man. But that's the way the world is. It's the opposite of what Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai said to do. It said the turning the, how does it say it? Did you have a scripture like that? Or did
No.
you want to say anything?
I'll just reread this part again. It says, we wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness.
Right. So that's what a lot of people do. They weary themselves in the ways of wickedness, man. Okay, go ahead.
And destruction.
And destruction. It's because their path, their feet lead them into destruction. Their actions are contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments, man. That's what the Most High is judging you by. Go ahead.
Yea, we have gone through the deserts where they lay no way. But as for the way of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, we have not known it. What hath pride profited us? Or what good hath riches found our wanting brought us?
Vaunting.
Vaunting brought
Vaunting
us.
is another word for boasting. All right. So this is what they weary themselves in. That's that wickedness, all that bullshit, vanity. Like the brother said, they want attention. Like Nia. Man, all he does is he talks about himself. That's all he does is talk about himself. What he did, what he got. Smiling and laughing. Like everything's a guy. Like he's a fucking little boy, man.
That's right.
But now realize that he offended one of those little ones, man. You fucking Moabs, you Ammonites, you Chinese, you Japanese, y'all gonna get fucked up too.
Right.
Don't think that because brothers always speaking on Esau that you're not spoken of, you're not thought of, because offenses must come, and your offenses are coming by you Asians too.
That's right.
Go ahead.
I got this one
Go
right here.
ahead.
This is Proverbs 11, and I'm going to start off at verse 2. When pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly is wisdom.
Yeah, but the lowly is wisdom, man. But with pride cometh shame, right? Before a fall, or pride goes before a fall. So all these people are gonna fall, man. Like Yahweh Shai said, not one stone shall be left upon another. All these buildings is a symbol of pride, man. An erected building high going towards the heavens, like the Tower of Babel when Yahweh Shai went and confounded their language. That's what Babylon means, confusion. Okay? So the Most High is going to do away with all that, man. That's a shame to be that way, man. That's hateful before man and the Most High.
Right.
It's like I was telling somebody earlier today at work, that's one of the things that I hate, man, is a prideful person. A liar, a prideful person, man. He didn't say nothing. Why? Because he knows, man. He knows he's fucking proud too. Told me one time he was humble. That motherfucker, he knows I'm not stupid. I'm not simple. I'm not naive.
That's right.
They ain't gonna supplant me like that.
People just like to throw out words now.
Yeah, they like to sound good. I learned a word today. Now I know the meaning. I'm gonna use it. Now realizing words have actions. They have vibrations, man.
That's right.
And they're not going out void. They're going to return. They're in the air and the spirit floating around. Yahweh Shai's word will not return unto him void.
That's right. It says the integrity of the upright shall guide them.
Mm-hmm. And what's our integrity? this truth. This is what we trust in. Okay, this is what that keeps us with that sincere heart, man. Is His word. This is what keeps us to have that integrity. Go ahead.
But the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them.
Yep. So it's gonna come upon their own pate, their own head. You know, what you sow is what you reap.
That's right.
You know, you want to reap or sow in corruption, you shall reap corruption in the flesh. You know, because all their time they weren't worried about the spirit. They weren't worried about a brother. They were worried about their own self, selfish. That's all it is. At the end of the day, like the brother made mention, they fill their own belly. That's all they're worried about is filling their own belly, man. You know. Go ahead.
Riches profit not in the day of wrath.
That's right. Riches don't profit shit. I don't give a fuck if you had it. What kind of car you got? I'll cuss your fucking ass out. I don't give a shit about that. I don't care who you are. That's the way us brothers are, man. Look what Yahushua did. Yahushua spoke up against the Roman Empire. He spoke up against Caesar. He did everything that we're doing. Yahushua did it. All the prophets did it. We don't care what you got, man.
They felt it as a slap in the face when Yahushua said, you know, a rich man is it would be easier, what do you say, for a camel to go through the
eye of a needle.
Eye of a needle than for a rich man to make it to the kingdom.
Yep.
That was a slap in their face. You know, especially Jake. You know how Jake is. All right, so when Jake knew that Jake knows a little bit, but you know, back then when Jake knew, oh yeah, there's a kingdom, there's a Messiah coming, there's this, there's that. They knew those things, but not from wisdom, man. They just knew from what other people had said.
Yeah, their forefathers.
You know? So when Yahushua told the rich people it's easier for a camel to make it through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to make it to the kingdom of heaven, they were like, yo, whoa. Who's this guy?
Yeah.
Who gave him authority? That's exactly how Jake is now. Alright? Nowadays, Jake will look somebody like, who the fuck are you? You know? You don't even have a full beard. You know, they'll look at us like we don't have full beards. Y'all ain't even 6-7 foot tall.
Yep.
They'll look at it, you know, damned if you damned if you don't. You know, like Yahushua. Yahushua came here and he would drink, but John the Baptist wouldn't, and they still found fault. In their eyes, it was fault. You know.
They were hated on, man.
It says, the righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but the transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness.
Yeah, they're going to be taken in their own naughtiness because their own sins are going to convict them or accuse them to their face. You know? Go ahead.
When a wicked man dieth, his expectations shall perish.
Yeah. All his goals, all his ambitions are going to perish, man.
That's right.
They're going to go up in smoke. You know?
What were those, Salaki, what were those scoffers? You know, they said that they were Hebrew Israelites before and they were eating that fucking Whataburger and they were mocking and saying, you know, that Hebrew Israelite movement, which is not a movement, all right? Really, you know, in a way, in a sense, is a movement of the spirit, you know, for people waking up. But the way they're making it seem, they're like, oh man, I gave up on my goals of life. I gave up on doing certain things that I used to do. Well, you should. You shouldn't be with the world, man. You should be trying to be, you know, pulling towards Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You know? It says, when the wicked man dieth, his expectations shall perish, and the hope of unjust men perisheth.
So all their heart's desires are gone. They ain't going to come to it full. Like Esau. Esau ain't going to come to its full. His kingdom. His implementation of the RFID chip, it ain't going to come to a full. He's going to regurgitate all that shit up. Most High is going to put his finger down his throat. You know, that shit hurts. When somebody, and at that, to have somebody do it, whenever you don't want to do that, and you're forced to regurgitate, he's going to be forced. You 2/3 are going to be forced. You know, you're going to be destroyed by way of violence, man. Death, you shall know it by pain. Death by pain, man.
That's right.
You know? So all your little goals and all that shit, everything that you did in your life is going to be weighed in the balance. It tells you that in 2 Corinthians chapter 5 that you're going to, when you appear before the judgment seat of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is going to be based on everything you've done in the body, in the flesh.
That's right.
Go
The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead.
Yeah, the wicked are gonna fall in that trap. Like going back to Mordecai and Haman, the Edomite, right? It hit the Haman was he had made those gallows for Mordecai because he hated the Jews, the Israelites, the Judites. But what happened? What was it? Was it Ruth? No, it wasn't Ruth. Esther. She's the one that was high up there with the Media Persian king. One of the I forget his name, but she found favor with him and told him what was going on, and they ended up putting what Haman the Amalekite did, the gallows to hang up Mordecai. He fell in that stead. So the just was delivered, but the wicked fell in his stead. See?
Right.
So that's how all these people, they're going to fall into that trap. They're going to fall into that ditch. They're going to be hanging from those gallows, man. Read that part again.
This is Proverbs 11 in verse 8. The righteous is delivered out of trouble.
Yeah, the righteous is going to be delivered out of trouble. That's why the Lord tells us to be patient, to watch, be harmless as doves, wise as serpents, circumspect, vigilant, Go ahead.
And the wicked cometh in his stead.
Yeah, and the wicked's gonna fall in that stead, meaning it's gonna fall. The Lord is gonna replace you out the way and put that person in that position.
That's right.
To be executed.
That's right. And they're gonna be the tail.
Yeah.
And then those men that you persecuted, hated for no apparent reason, they're gonna be the head.
They're gonna be over you. Because that's what Yahushua promised Peter when Peter asked him, we forsook all these things, so what are we going to inherit? What are we going to get? And he said that if you follow me through the regeneration, you're going to judge the 12, you shall sit on 12 seats and judge the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
And there's going to be an iron rod that's going to be given unto Israel, and they're going to crack, on the nations, man. They're going to destroy them. They're going to judge them.
That's
So
right.
even the 2/3, they're going to come back with the shame, knowing that they went on what they fucked up. Like right now they're happy, they're good, Yeah, they have a void in their heart because we all know all men are miserable, but right now they feel like they're on top of the world, and they're doing whatever they want. They're smoking crack, they're smoking weed, getting paid, selling drugs, just working manner of wickedness. But in the kingdom, they're gonna feel the way we feel, hurt, depressed. They're gonna be good, but they're gonna have that shame on it. It tells you that in the book of Ezekiel. They're gonna have that shame on them.
That's right. Content. That word content doesn't mean, fucking leaping for joy and being, all kinds of, you know what? Let me see if I can get that word content, because I know they have the thesaurus that also goes into words that are similar to it and words that are against it.
I'm going to read this script while you find it. This is Zechariah chapter 2, verse 7. Well, I'll start at verse 6. It says, Ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, saith Yahweh. For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heaven, saith Yahweh. And that's talking about the land of the north is America. But he scattered us to the four corners of the earth, so we're going to be gathered together, as we read in the book of Zephaniah. It says, Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon, which is America. Okay, so who's the daughter of Babylon, or who's the mother of that daughter, which is Great Britain? It says, For thus saith the Yahweh of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. So that's how it is when you mess with one of the little ones, or a man of the Lord, which is still considered a little one. That's like you poking the eye of the Most High, man. You're shoving your finger into the Most High's eye, man. And that shit, it irritates you. It pisses you off.
That's right.
So Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, he's coming back just as that. He's coming back pissed, ready to avenge his little ones, man.
That's right.
For thus saith the Lord, Salaki, verse 9, For behold, I will shake my hand upon them. That's why the whole time I've been shaking my hand. That's what Yahweh Shai is doing. He's shaking his hand at you.
That's right.
He's like this. Like we're talking about an incident that happened back at our old job at Impact, where a friend of mine in the world, he got into a little conversation with one of our bosses, and Joe, he was pointing the finger in front of my friend's face like this, and it irritated my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't it should, having a finger pointed at you is like somebody going at, putting their finger up to your head and pushing you, or basically they're punking you, But that's what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is doing to Esau. He's punking Esau. Esau can't do shit. You won't do. You are gonna do something, but you ain't gonna win, man. But when you piss off Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that's what he's doing. He's shaking the hand at you. He says, "For behold, I will shake my hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants, and ye shall know that the Yahweh of hosts has sent me." Okay, so now you don't know who the Most High has sent into the world to work, to provide for his family and shit. You don't know who those men are, and you have to be careful how you deal with those people, because like I said, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. So you're gonna be a spoil to Yahweh Shem Yahushua's man, the man of the Lord, man, because he sent him out there. Whether it's right here, at your job, at school, at your home, it don't matter. They're going to be your servant, man. And you touch the apple of the Lord's eyes because you're messing with his servants, man. So, you got something?
Right, there's 3 levels to the feelings. It'd be unhappy, content, and then it would be happy, right? And in this place, we're supposed to be content. Unhappy, content. You're supposed to be around those places. You're not supposed to be up high, feeling happy and feeling good. In the kingdom, that's when happiness is going to come in, But in the kingdom, for the rest of them, that's where that content is going to be. They're not going to be unhappy, but they're going to be content. That means they're right in the middle. They're not, all the way up there. They don't have everything that the election has found, but they're going to be living good. But this is the definition of content. It says the feeling with which a person regards anything considered mean, vile, worthless, disdain, or scorn. All right, and that's what the brothers are in this world. All right, but this is the thesaurus, and an antonym of content is honor. All right, so that's what we don't have. We don't have honor here. You see, so in the kingdom, those men are gonna have that honor. You see, because we know that the kingdom is the exact opposite of this place. This place is wicked. The kingdom is righteous. All right. So if we're content here, we're gonna have honor over there. Lord willing, we're part of that number.
Is that it on it? I got this one. Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 31. Then shall you remember your own evil ways, your doings that were not good, and shall loathe yourselves in your own sight for your iniquities and for your abominations. Not for your sakes do I this, saith the Lord Yahweh. Be it known unto you. Be ashamed and confounded for your own ways, O house of Israel. Okay? So that's how it's going to be, man. 2/3 are going to have that shame upon you because of your wickedness that you did. You weren't doing it when the time was necessary. You thought it was necessary to follow the world, right, to be a piece of shit, to be a unrighteous person. Right. That's not convenient in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You're gonna be destroyed for that. You're gonna be put to death. That's right. The scriptures say here in the book of Acts that y'all do this, and you are, and it's true. Not Acts, book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 28. And when as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, Yahweh gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, and knowing the judgment of the Most High, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them.
That's right.
So that's how all these people that I've been making mention of, supervisors, bosses, presidents, cops, officers, sheriffs, the ones that work on unrighteousness on the left-hand side, you are going to be destroyed, man.
That's right.
You're going to be put to death. And it's sad because the script, the Lord very witness said that you take pleasure in doing these things. Yeah, so it's real, man. They took pleasure when they were killing Yahweh Shai, man. If you ever watched The Passion of the Christ with when Mel Gibson produced that one, and when those Romans were treating Yahweh Shai like shit, well, you know, it was a white dude in there, but they were all laughing, like they were getting off on it, man, when they were whipping him with the whip with the cat, I think it was 7 or 9 cattails on it with the blades on there, man. They were like getting demonically possessed. They were getting off on hurting that man, with Yahweh Shai. These people out here, people are like, I don't know how many times people tell me, we don't talk about you. Well, I know y'all fucking talk about me. The scriptures bear witness to that too. That they'll be speaking behind the walls, man, in the book of Ezekiel 33. It's because they don't hear me right here, but because I'm different. Wherever I go, I know people fucking talk about me. Not all day, every day, but I know I'm in the midst of their motherfucking mind frame and their fucking conversation. Yahweh Shai was the same way. Yahweh Shai was known, was unknown, but well known, man. Like Solomon was known, you know. When the Queen of Sheba came all the way from Ethiopia just to meet him, to hear his wisdom, man. You know?
That's right.
So these people out here, they take pleasure in being fucking sadistics, sadistic, torturing, taunting, intimidating, harassing, picking on people. But whenever they step to one that don't tolerate that shit, they have to deal in a different way. That's when they resort to paperwork, to video cameras, all this different shit just to trap you up.
That's right.
Because they know they can't just push you around. But then on that same token, you have to use what Esau has out there to utilize that against them motherfuckers too.
That's right.
These people are about to go down, man. They don't even know it. They don't even know that people, it's like they worry about witchcraft. They worry about people working, black magic, voodoo. You need to worry about messing with the men of the Lord, man.
That's right.
Because they're sending up curses, prayers for deliverance, for destruction, and you don't even know that you're in that prayer, man. A lot of you people are in that prayer, and some brothers are making names known, calling out your name, saying, Baba Kashad, the Lord come and destroy your ass. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Shalak Rayam, Mashapayim, Anashim upon you motherfuckers, man. You don't even know that. Don't worry about all that black magic shit. You need to worry about Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man.
That's right.
Because he's a demon-like power. What was his name? Al-Ashadia, man. You got that? Are you gonna get one?
I had it earlier, but it was the one that I had sent it to you. What was it? I can't remember how to quote it. But basically saying, don't hurt those men unless they curse you in the bitterness of their heart. And that's exactly what you're doing, not realizing who these men are. Cursing those men out of the bitterness, or cursing those men, and they're cursing you out of the bitterness of their heart. You looking at them like babes, looking at them like, oh, he doesn't know anything. But like the brother brought out earlier, we're looking at you guys like you guys are the babes, and the scriptures call you the babes. All right.
I got a script right here. This is Sirach 35:13. He will not accept any person against a poor man, but will hear the prayer of the oppressed. He will not despise the supplication of the fatherless, nor the widow when she poureth out her complaint. Do not tears run down the widow's cheeks, and is not her cry against him that caused them to fall? He that serveth Yahweh shall be accepted with favor, and his prayer shall reach unto the clouds. The prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds, until it come nigh, he will not be comforted, and will not depart, till the Most High shall behold the judge. Till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment. See? So that's exactly what the afflicted and poor people are doing. They're sitting in their prayers until that judgment is played out. And the whole on all of America, Great Babylon, NATO, the European Union. All right, when Magog is brought down, the Russians, because they're going to try to come up for a short period of time. They're gonna be, because it's still Esau at the end of the day. But once America's destroyed, Russia's gonna step up, and that's where that in the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shappah is gonna continue the final World War III of it all, man. Right there in the valley of decision, man, with Yahweh and the angels. Okay, and it says here, Sirach 35:18, for Yahweh will not be slack, neither will the mighty be patient toward them, till he has smitten in sunder the loins of the unmerciful. And that's what we're waiting for. I can't wait for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh to destroy you unmerciful motherfuckers, man.
That's right.
That he come and destroy you by way of a lion, a tiger. It says, and repaid vengeance to the heathen till he have given or taken away the multitude of the proud, and broken the scepter of the unrighteous, because they're ruling right now. These babes, as I read in Isaiah chapter 3. Okay? Go ahead and line that one up one more time in Isaiah chapter 3 and read from verse 4.
It's Isaiah chapter 3, verse 4. And I will give the children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them.
Right, which we know it's Esau, but you got 2/3 that are still they're falling into this, man.
That's right.
Because they have no understanding. They're unrighteous. They're unmerciful, man. Go ahead.
Right. It says, and the people shall be oppressed, everyone by another, and everyone by his neighbor.
See, everyone's going to be oppressed, everyone by his neighbor and brother, man. That's what's going on. Even within their own, even amongst their own selves, when they're in a high position, like the Democrats, the Republicans, they're against each other. You know? Like Yahweh Shai said, how can a house be a stand that is divided against itself, man? These people are all bugged out. They're not in true unity. You know? They're against each other. They envy, they hate each other, they hate on each other, they talk shit about each other, backbiters, whispers, like I read in Romans. They're gonna die because of being like that, man.
That's right.
The Lord don't like that shit. If you don't like it, get how much more Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. I hate shit like that, man. Go ahead.
The child shall behave